Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, The Martian. I saw this back in the day in 2015 in the cinema. I bought it on DVD. I haven't watched it since, I don't think. I forgot a bit about it, but if you watch a film in the cinema and you really watch it properly, it sort of becomes, you just sort of, sort of absorb it and you remember it. And sometimes I don't feel like I need to watch a film a second time after I've watched it properly in the cinema. Unlike watching it on streaming or home on DVD when I'm doing other things, and sometimes I'm only half watching it. But I didn't remember most of the people in this, because Matt Damon is the main astronaut, the Martian, who gets stuck on Mars. But there's a lot of other people in this. Jessica Chastain, Kristen Wiig, Jeff Daniels, Michael Pena, Sean Bean, Sebastian Stan, Benedict Wong, Donald Glover. There's a bunch of people in it who are all the sort of people on Earth trying to rescue him. Because basically what happens is there's a team of people on Mars working on making it livable for humanity. And there's a sudden storm, and Matt Damon gets pulled off into the storm, and they think he's dead because, unbeknownst to them, a piece of shrapnel has cut the cords of his life support, like not the life support, but the connection. So it's not reporting that he's still alive. It's not transmitting his readings. So they think he's dead, and they leave the planet to save themselves and don't realize they're leaving him behind. He wakes up and he's stuck on the planet. And he has to work out how to survive long enough to possibly be rescued. So he ends up finding ways to grow food and create oxygen, and there's a few funny scenes like where he is trying to ignite the oxygen to burn something, and he doesn't anticipate the extra oxygen from his breath, and he ends up blowing himself over. And there are a few funny scenes, and you're with him. It's mostly him just talking to the camera, talking to a video log, and then just doing things, and you're watching him. You do have the story on Earth where they realise that, oh, he's still alive. How do we help him? How do we rescue him? And eventually they do come. They save him. Then he ends up basically lecturing at university about survival and so forth. And it's fairly simple. Actually, I just realised how simple this movie is to tell in a story. But like great performances from people I didn't even recognise, who weren't sort of playing their usual sort of characters. And Matt Damon does a good job. He's likeable. He's believable. I always find it baffling that one of the characters left, because obviously he's got all their stuff they brought with them, and she had a whole collection of disco music because she apparently loved disco music, but nothing else. And there's no library or catalogue there for them for entertainment or anything. So he's just listening to disco music the whole time, which is kind of a running joke. And at the end, they actually play, of course, "I Will Survive" in the credits, which was sort of funny to listen to that in that context. They managed to use some song that's sort of like he's riding in this vehicle with this nuclear device that he's going to use that in the wrong way, something that they buried. They weren't supposed to go anywhere near, and he's using it to help him survive. And he's like riding in this car with this toxic thing, and he's listening to this one of the disco songs about being hot or something. Or it kind of works. I can't remember the name of it, but I like disco, so I didn't have any issues with that. But that was the only thing I sort of found funny in it, that they had this sort of running gag he was making fun of, and I'm like, I don't think disco really deserved that. But the effects are good. You believe he's on Mars. It's mostly like grounded in a way. So once they have that environment established and they've worked out production-wise how to do that, there's not a lot of in space and running around like the other action films. This is more about just one person surviving, and it's sort of a little bit Apollo 13 in as well, where you sort of see the astronauts trying to survive and then the people trying to rescue them, and you just sort of have these sort of going back between these two sort of stories and that. So I liked it. Like I said, Matt Damon was likeable. I've always sort of liked him. I mean, with the whole who was hotter, Ben or Matt, I always went with Ben. I thought he was more handsome, but Matt was a bit too much the golden boy with some other friends. But I've grown to like him, so I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of The Martian. I like it. I'm probably going to watch it periodically whenever I feel like watching space movies. It's up there with Mission to Mars and now Red Planet and Total Recall. And there's not a lot of Mars movies I've discovered, but there definitely are a few. But I'm going to go. Bye. Actually, I just have to add, because I forgot, that this film made $630 million on a $108 million budget. So it was a huge hit, which would partly explain why it was so well received, but I had no idea it did that well. That's huge for what it is. It's a very basic, simple story. There's no action, no spaceships, no aliens, just one person trying to survive, which I guess made it more relatable, so I guess the general audience liked it.